Hello, it's Jeane, filling in today to let you know what my friends and I have been getting up to. So the party started approaching the town of Crosse Roads about 3 days from Tamadia, and I was pretty nervous being so close to home. It prompted our group to do some planning and preparation. Why would a strange group of such eclectic folk be traveling the Tamadorian countryside? So, despite the Ailman's constant whining about wasting time, we came up with a backstory. Alright, here was our plan. Step 1. Hope nobody asks any questions, but it's Tamador, people are going to ask questions. Step 2. If they do ask, I'm a merchant's daughter named Margaret, being sent to marry an endowment I've never met. The boys were my guards, Bill, Billi, and Bob. Alan became Alam, a gleeman travelling with us to keep me entertained. Ferredin remained Ferredin, a strange Aiel warrior that had attached himself to our group for some reason. Jean Renault, my soon-to-be husband, has only recently returned to land after being lost at sea for many years, so we must proceed with the wedding immediately. In town, things seem to be pretty quiet until we come to the square, where some members of the Sons are hanging prisoners. A talk with the locals reveals that the men's only crimes were speaking in support of the Aes Sedai and White Tower. I know, white cloaks, right? So anyway, in the crowd there's one man that seems to be almost as disgusted at the display as I am. He goes to an inn where we follow. While getting rooms for the night, I try to get some information out of the innkeeper using my feminine wiles, but I guess he's into men or something, because he just ignored my charms and didn't tell me anything besides Tamador is as Tamador always is, as if I don't know that already. Ferredin and Beric approach the mysterious man, while the rest of us listen from a table away. The man introduces himself as Sayoka of Andor. Ferredin hints that we might think similarly to him in regards to the White Cloaks, and Sayoka confirms that we have more in common than that. In fact, he's also a friend of Mistress Alice. We plan to meet in my room, the nicest one of course, later. To act natural, Beric and Ferredin have a drinking contest that Beric obviously wins. Meanwhile, Ilan is off in town to find a horse tuxedo because it's just not polite to keep a bride waiting as long as we have. Unfortunately, we are only spending the night in town and the Tanner just can't get it done in that time. While waiting for Ilan to return, I buy a round of drinks for the White Cloaks. As Ilan walks in, Sayoka seems almost to recognize him before glancing away. He goes straight to bed and the rest of us slowly follow. We all gather back in my room. Believe it or not, this is the most men I've ever had in my room at once. Anyway, Sayoka tells us that we are late. He's been expecting us with a letter to deliver. We were supposed to run into him on our way to the assassination attempt, so, oops. He's really tense and distrusting, and so am I, because really, who in the lights is this man anyway? Ferredin drunkenly tries to smooth things over. Really, that man cannot hold his liquor. As we continue to talk, something seems to push Sayoka to trust us, something similar to the force that brought us together in the first place. Ilan then notices him see Sidene and weave a circle of silence. He lets us know that the capital is swarming with white cloaks even more than usual. They're celebrating a new questioner being raised, while also preparing for war. Sayoka also mentions that he's seen wanted posters for me all over Tamador. Can't imagine what that's about. We decide to leave that night, but Sayoka tells us that everyone leaving for the capital must be accompanied by a patrol of Sons. Yada yada, we plan a bunch. It basically boils down to we head for Tamadia and hope we find a portal stone along the way. We ditch the cart to travel a little lighter and faster and avoid the patrols. In his sleep, Adel dreams of traveling down a road, eventually finding a stone somewhere off of our planned path. The dream draws him to a symbol that brings him thoughts of Selenia. He jolts awake and immediately wakes the party. The rest of the group is a little hesitant to trust him about this, but I recognize the kind of dream he's had, and we follow him. When we reach the stone, Elan is very quick to deflect duty to Sayoka and me. Seriously, that elf makes me look excited to channel. I've never linked before, but I don't trust myself to survive another use of the portal stone, so I asked Sayoka for his help. Sidine is filthy and so scary and rough, but also very powerful. So while it was a little difficult to focus through this new experience, I concentrate on the symbol Adel had pointed out, and with Beric's chanting to help guide me, we make it through to Andor. 5 days' ride later, we arrive in Camelin. Here there is a noticeable tension in the crowd as we make our way to the Queen's Blessing, an inn that Selenia had recommended. Men wear swords wrapped in either white, blue, or red. At the inn, the innkeeper, who rudely doesn't introduce himself, explains what these bands mean. White cloths are for those who support the Queen, but not her connection to the White Tower. A wise choice. Blue cloths mean that they do not support the Queen at all, wanting a new line to take over the throne. And red cloths, which we notice everyone at this inn wearing, are for good Queen's men. The innkeeper finally gets to the point and says that he knows Mistress Alice and saw her on her way out west. He thinks she will be returning in the next few days, so we agree to get rooms at the inn and wait. And that's where we ended. It's certainly been an exciting adventure, and I can't wait to see where we all go next. Cheers.